in the grand scheme of this series and how they've been playing. We're looking at the bans and the picks that we've seen from last game. Which change are we expecting to see? Are we looking at more individual changes where we see different players on different champions, or are we thinking their whole approach to the game, to the engage, to poke would be different?
So I don't mind the approach of give solo laners individual agency. That's the approach that they had before. I think that is very important for someone like Nako. That's pretty much everything that we've been saying in the last couple of minutes. If you haven't got that point just yet, I'm sorry, we'll hit you over the head with it again. Nako wants that counter pick most likely, and he has the champion pool to hopefully make something work better than that first game.
And now with the premier champions being out, when I'm looking at jungle, I do feel like it's still SkewMond, SkewMond's playing ground with Vi Pantheon being out. I feel like he's been the one who has been consistently getting the more.
So sick.
Yeah, he was getting consistently more of the upper hand between most of the junglers, you know, being super high up in solo queue and having just a deep champion pool. I'm curious now what the first pick would be, because there's not a lot of priority in the jungle. I feel like it's going to be even trades, and and also what I'm looking at is both teams securing support on 2-3, because there's only 2 engaged supports out. And I feel like this is Niko? Well,
do you think?
He did have a great Niko game, you know?
I think the Varus is a very easy first pick, right? I think there are a couple of different options. You could go towards top lane first picks if you feel like you really want to go towards something like a Gwen, blah, blah, blah. Varus, I don't think there's ever really a bad game for a Varus.
Definitely not. And Jhin is the premier, you know, blind pick as well, but it's also probably the most reliable counter pick into the Varus because he provides a lot of utility. The Naafiri, this is really interesting because Naafiri did get a heavy ban in the early game, but at the same time, when it comes to scaling in the mid into the late game, she is just still this very annoying dog.
And I think if you want to get towards that late game, you like to have 1 or 2 kills early. 2 of the earliest game junglers are out of the table already in the Vi and the Pantheon, so that does give potentially the Naafiri a little bit more window for opportunity, which is why you kind of have to go for the Shinzan now. I feel like
I am really surprised that Vitality didn't pick Zhao themselves, because I do feel like this champion has been flying under the radar a little bit. A lot of teams, I see them prioritize this a lot more, just because it provides you pretty much, you know,
gives everything right now.
Exactly, very good early mid game, transitions into late game, you know, space maker / tank. It just has a lot of utility. And the Jax.
Something about last draft specifically, Odo, that you mentioned while we were watching was that it was very vanilla, very plain. It didn't really set up either team to go crazy early, mid, or late, yet G2 was able to capitalize off of that. Are we expecting G2 to just be sticking to that because it worked?
I would say so, because this is, when I look at all of these champions that G2 are picking right now with the Varus, with the Zhao, with the Jax, these are all huge comfort picks for all of these players. BB, I think one of his most successful champions all time has been the Jax. There's been years where he was 80-90% win rate, you know, stomping the league left and right. And even though it is blind pick, the Aatrox counter pick is, I would say it's a little bit more of a 50-50 matchup, and I'm not sure if it's the best counter pick I would be taking if I was on Vitality side.
Okay.
Last time he played the Aatrox, really insane team fight value, even though he's behind. Also just weird coincidence, we have 3 Dark Kingdom picks right now. There's only like 5 of them. Like, wow, okay, that's just a flavor of the draft. But yeah, Nako for me. I think his top laning, team fighting impact on that Aatrox has been enough to justify this pick. Will need to make sure he doesn't fall that far behind BB though. BB, when he gets ahead in the matchup, really does leverage it well.
And now I'm curious how, because now we're at the pivotal point in this pick and ban where Vitality and G2 have the option with this last ban to take out the engaged supports, because Rel has already been taken out. There is Nautilus left. There's probably Rakan as well. And now if either Vitality or G2 bans one, then we might see one of these rare games where we have range support.
I'm looking at the Poppy ban, so I'm assuming that maybe, if anything, Vitality would like to get their hands on the Rakan.
I would think so. It's more of a, you're at the point where you make a trade. And right now, given the fact that Braum has been banned, you have Nautilus and Rakan up, most likely we're going to see a trade between the two.
So no Niko today? No Niko for Nisqy today? Jhin Niko tends to be the player.
You think so?
I mean, you are memeing it, but he did find, you know, he missed a couple of engages. He missed a couple of engages, but then he did find the good one.
Yeah, he did kind of win the game. Up until then, he was losing it for them. I was talking to someone from the Vitality org who said, don't worry, won't be playing that one today. We'll see if they've kept their promise. But yeah, you're looking for something. You can kind of play a whole bunch of different things with these 2 AD carries, because the AD carries carry you through the laning phase when they're as strong as the Varus or the Jhin. You're not locked into anything particularly right now. And while before, I thought that Vitality would choose red side for counter pick top lane, I think they can now hold on to it for a counter pick support if they really want to make sure that Nisqy's coming.
Mid lane, I would say, with this Aurelion Sol ban. Well, they're going to offer the Nautilus, because it really feels like maybe one of the issues was that they didn't really utilize both their counter picks well as game. I'm not sure if the Jace was picked as a response to Talalia, but it was, if I remember correctly, the flex pick. So, but now, given the fact that they have the opportunity to get their choice of counter pick top and counter pick mid, this is probably them making the best use of red side that they can so far, because right now it's just a trade between the support. But the Renata pick, I feel like, is incredible value because you have the Varus, you have the range advantage, you have the poke, you have Jax and Zhao to make space, and at the same time, Vitality, very telegraphed in comp, they want to go in, they want to engage, and Renata just plays more into that disengagement.
Yeah, it's Renata into triple melee already picked in from Vitality, which is why I would have liked to see that support counter pick, because now you're in a position where your laning phase is hard versus Varus Renata, your team comes pretty hard as well. Vitality, they pick the red side, and we have to ask...
Last pick will make everything.
This last pick gotta get a hell of a lot of value, because they chose red side, they chose to get counterpicked in that support role, which counterpicks their team comp pretty well too. And while the Ahri, I'm a big fan of it, I don't think it's the silver bullet.
Is it the value you need?
That's the thing. I don't think it's the silver bullet which solves the draft.
I don't really know if I don't think it's the silver bullet, but at the same time, it does pivot into a brand new win condition for Team Vitality, which is side lane playmaking. Because I feel like when you walk into these team fights, you cannot front to back. It's obvious that you cannot front to back just because of the Renata. But right now, with the Aatrox, with the Ahri, with the Naafiri, the Jhin utility, it does feel like now you have a lot more options, and the way you want to approach fights at objectives is flank all across the board.
And I think they have those options available to them quite early into the game. You know, Ahri, Jhin, Nautilus all get to make plays very early into it. Vitality, they have succeeded with hard-to-play compositions before. I think this classifies as one of them. If it goes late enough, you're going to have to deal with the Renata and the problems that gives you in lane and team fights. BB on Jax, a bit of a ticking time bomb as well. Vitality need to hit hard, hit early, and join each other's plays well.
Yeah, remember that on the line here is at least a chance of a tiebreaker to be able to make it to them playoffs. So Vitality going up against G2 Esports, looking to push this to that final game. But can they do it? Let's find out.
Lock in. Let's see Vitality from the past couple of weeks. Is game one, G2. Yeah, they were spicy, they were hot, but Vitality, they were not. Polska Grom. Big. Yeah, we got so many signs in the crowd today. But why is there a winky face? Am I not meant to have fun? What does it mean?
It just means have fun. Winky face.
Winky face. It's like, hi, winky face. What do you mean by that, hi? Are we talking more? If it says, how are you with a winky face, I'm just completely lost. All right, welcome back. Our match of the week, game one, G2 delivered, and they stomped Vitality into the ground. We are hoping, as you can see, finals in Madrid coming up for LEC Summer. We are hoping Vitality can deliver something of that kind of caliber for this second game. As Naamiri said on the desk, as Dagda we were talking about, this Vitality comp needs to shine and shine quick in this game.
Yeah, I think if you don't get ahead of Vitality, it's going to be tough. Like, your Naafiri really needs to snowball. This Ahri kind of needs to get in a position where it can be a threat in side lanes. And I mean, we saw Jhin earlier on to go 10-0 and lose the game. So
yeah, true.
So it is always difficult to carry on a Jhin. So I think for G2, like, taking it easy, looking to scale is all going to be fine. I thought Hansama would actually go for the on-hit build, but actually going for the poke build instead, it looks like. So even then, at least having some answer for Carzzy when it comes towards the range.
Oh, good blocking, though. Actually, Hansama's the one who stepped up. Nisqy gets a good trade, but return from G2, a lot better, actually. The power of Renata auto-attack. Someone like Hansama with Halo Blades in this lane as well. As they're going to be the ones to reach level 2 first. Stretch line comes in again. Nisqy going in here. The arrows that come out, they're deadly. Labrov's going to get ignited down, but Carzzy also gets shot back. So Hansama in a great position. Remember, Labrov has pots and cookies.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go toe-to-toe in this early stages. The Guardian on the first trade from Labrov means that it's a very even trade, plus you're getting the shield, and you're getting that excess damage from the passive as well on the Renata, so the trade goes very well in favor of G2. On the secondary trade, they go again with that Guardian down, but it then becomes the range for Hansama, where he's able to just completely outpace Carzzy as well, who is obviously on the Jhin, much lower auto attack, and much more about utilizing that forward shot for that big burst of damage. So Hansama just kind of playing at range, and Labrov happy to trade his health bar because, as you say, he's got pots, he's got the biscuits, he's happy out.
And it's not the only lane that's going well. Broken Blade already just got to demolish at 2.5 minutes. I mean, that's huge. As Lyncas behind enemy lines, or rather his own. For now, just hoping that G2, they're going to back here, but... Wait. Oi. Like ships in the night, dredge line flash. Hunshammer, he also barriered there. I guess that's a win.
Yeah, a little nervous, but just before that, Labrov actually landed a handshake underneath the tower, so burnt Carzzy's cleanse as well. So now I think you got to be a little bit careful, because like a flash handshake into SkewMond arriving could be a little bit dangerous on this bottom side. So I'll be keeping my eyes on SkewMond to see if he does punish the bottom side for Carzzy in this game.
Broken Blade's going to get the shove in yet again in top in the meanwhile. Mid also going pretty well for Caps. As you know, Orianna is the lane bully she's good at doing. Wasn't an English sentence, but you get the gist, don't you?
Yeah, she does the winning of the thing.
The winning of the lane, yeah, she does that.
Yeah.
Orianna's she's lane bully. Good spacing from Caps as well. It's little things like that where Czajek not able to trade back as Lyncas. Again, he's got a big job. I think this game, I mean, he had a great Naafiri last week, but boy, oh boy, Lyncas has got his work cut out for him today with all 3 lanes.
Yeah. Nisqy? Nope.
Yeah, he's gone for a roam, but it might work out. Actually, the bailout is there on Caps, but as he walks away, he doesn't die, doesn't need it. SkewMond gets the range, and Wind becomes first blood.
And now Lyncas' job just got significantly more difficult. Has a good turnaround by G2 on the play. Just not quite enough damage to take down Caps. The shield doing a huge amount of work, both from Labrov and Caps as well.
Might not be the only lane that's working well. Nako could be in some trouble, but Broken Blade just walks back to the wave, and look at where it is. It's in a bad spot for Naak. He has to step up. Broken Blade's going to zone him off the wave, and with another one coming in as well on his side of the map, Nako's going to have to TP and hope that he can get a good trade off.
Yeah, doesn't really know where SkewMond went to, so just got to back away and make sure that he's able to heal up and make himself all right. And also, just having that reset come through is quite nice, as
Labrov is coming from Narnia, just the side of the map, and handshake not going to connect this time. Carzzy cleanse up in 1/4 of the time left.
Yeah, I do think it's been tough for Nako, because this is kind of the guy that we were looking at, saying, hey, look, we want him to be this big new top laner, right? And going up against the guy who has been the dominant Turkish top laner for quite a while in the LEC. I think Nako had high stakes for him, but unfortunately, the first game didn't work out with the funky counter pick in the Vladimir. And now in game number 2 as well, Broken Blade getting that early reset into picking up those early items, now forcing the early TP from Nako. You can kind of see that he's definitely the top father, making his top son understand what's going on.
I mean, it had to be the naming for this, didn't it? Because with Nako, like his quick development in the league, and especially the stats to support it. You look at the damage a minute. Look at the solo kills. He's got 9 solo kills in 6 weeks of play. Broken Blade only a little bit behind him. It's so fitting for the matchup. Now, game 1, we couldn't talk about it. It was a Sion versus Vladimir matchup. What the hell are you going to talk about? This one a little bit more skill-orientated, as sitting with a pickaxe for now versus Phage. Gold is even up top. And Nako, who's already burned his TP, it looks like he's going to take a quick reset while the wave resets. And top laners go bot. Bot laners go top. We do that thing that we do usually at 5.5, 6 minutes. That also sets up for the grub spawning at 8.
Yeah, I mean, this has kind of been with the change to Spirit Blossom and Ionia, what to expect.
Yeah.
I still think, though, with the way G2 are positioned right now, the early skirmishing power they have is absurd. I don't really think that Vitality, because they've lost out on these early trades, really have a position to match. Especially with Nisqy not having flash, maybe it will be back up in time, but I don't think it will be. For this like early threat on top side.
Nice charm. Lyncas here. Caps up against Turret. It's 1 bleed. It's the second. And the dogs will do the rest. Lyncas. Great gank timer.
He just don't miss. Managing to hit it. And now on the opposite side, trying to get some trade back, but Hansama getting that Guardian, able to trade effectively in return. And both junglers now starting to make their way up towards his top side.
Great trade. Q comes up for Hansama. Nisqy almost died. Really clean stuff from Hans, and Carzzy now respecting that as well, as Lyncas might be here, but in the way is SkewMond. He's got level 6. Lyncas does now too. Ulti burn from both top laners down bot. Broken Blade going to walk it out. Nako, his rotation is back up again.
thought Counter-Strike might have been back up as well, so Nako wasn't too sure. Lyncas is about to run to SkewMond, but both mid laners moving.
SkewMond might have to flash just immediately. Czajek was there first, doesn't pop his own ulti. Caps are going to get ulted on now, though. Czajek finds his target, but misses the charm. Ulti away, wind becomes lightning. Lyncas to disengage, still has that stupid invulnerable button, but Nisqy going to look for the dredge line, misses. Lyncas now thinking about the wave, but still, that camp is not safe. Czajek has run out of ulti as well. Caps is zoning off. What mid lane is fighting out. Look at Lyncas. Look at SkewMond. He's obviously winning here on the Zhao. Gets the camps as well. Vitality have to back off and pay respect. While Broken Blade looks for the demolition. Wants Nako. The burst of flash. Father, beget son.
How could you do this to him? He was supposed to be the one. But really well played by Broken Blade, and Nako feeling the hurt on this bottom side of the map again. G2 looking good across the board. Caps saying I will not be your Valentine's to Czajek in the mid lane over and over again. SkewMond being able to push back Lyncas, and a great flash in response to Czajek once more.
Really ambitious from Vitality. It's starting to get heated. G2 with a 1k gold lead, but Vitality trying to punch back. While Lyncas does his first dragon of the game. No grubs were actually taken, and SkewMond's going to finish them off right now. The 3 grubs versus the dragon is the handshake deal, but I once again see SkewMond with an early gold lead, and even more so, Broken Blade with a lead. It's fueling the top side of G2.
Especially when we were saying that Vitality needed to be the ones to get ahead.
Yeah.
Now you've got Broken Blade, who's very much controlling and dictating the pace of this top side matchup. Caps has been doing a fantastic job of avoiding the setup from Czajek and Lyncas to try and pick him off in most cases. And then SkewMond as well, being able to push Lyncas back and steal away a lot of these camps. And a huge amount of that is thanks to this ward that he's managed to set up on the back. That pink ward is spotted out consistently where Lyncas is moving, how he rotated up to try and protect Carzzy and Nisqy on a potential topside dive, means he steals away the red, then they steal away the Raptors. It's this constant pressure from G2 that Vitality just can't keep up with.
Caps obviously really good at playing with that as well. I mean, his ability to step forward in this lane has been huge, and look at the CS lead between Caps and Czajek. We came in today talking up this mid laner on Vitality a lot because Caps has been in a bit of a slump. And it's not like a Caps normal slump where you're like, oh, he's not as good as normal Caps, but he's still top 3. It's like, no, especially, you know, in Madrid, weeks prior. Caps has been rough around the edges. Broken Blade, could we say the same versus Nako? Yet again, this guy stepping up to Broken Blade. He was hit first. Broken Blade forces him out. Nako has TP, but close to getting solo kill number 2.
Dad says no candy in the evening because those sweet spots were not hitting for Nako whatsoever. No. And now you've got multiple members from Vitality down here to try and punish Broken Blade.
In the demolish, now looking for a way out. The World End is in. Sidestep up. Broken Blade is clean. He tries to get out, but with the dredge line, it seems to be an impossibility. The counter-strike not getting a stun means Nako has a sure kill. Broken Blade just wants to get to the wave. He dives. He's wasting time. But he's now out of mana. Nisqy's going to chase him up, you're right, but dredge line, where is it? He finds him. Nisqy's going to slow him down, and the delay on this back as well, Dagda.
Does Nako get the... Nako doesn't get anything. So it will be the TP burn from Broken Blade in the hopes to escape, but honestly, not having any killer assist go over to Nako, not the end of the world in the grand scheme of things.
You're right. I mean, a bit of extra gold in this 1k lead of a matchup would have been nice. Let alone the kill. Nako not finding anything, and Broken Blade, look, the caveat is Vitality going to be happy that this Jax has no TP, so Nako can finally get a plate in the matchup and start clawing back a little bit about how far he was falling behind.
Yeah, definitely needed something to go his way, but as you say, it's still 650 gold, and now G2 looking to put pressure on towards Czajek, but he's an Ahri. He's already pushed the wave. He's just going to walk away, and I think SkewMond going to be more of a nuisance and try and interrupt the reset here rather than actually look for anything.
W is going to be, well maintained. SkewMond takes a turret shot for it. He's going to stick around. He's going to do it again.
He's got no camps up, so he's kind of just fine to be a pain. Yeah. All he's doing is waiting for the crab spawn, which is now just about to come up. So he's just like, cool, I can just fall back into river. And it draws Vitality here to try and cover for what is essentially a non-existent play.
You talked about it. Again, I'm seeing pings come in. That ward is still there.
It's so high value.
Lens.
I mean, Nisqy was spotted
finally.
Now, but, I mean, that has been there for about 5 or 6 minutes. Like, it's
such
been there
a high value ward,
Yeah, and it's just giving so much information across. And now you're just going to back away. SkewMond gets the crab and river that we were talking about. His top side is about to spawn, so he's just getting good value out of what he's doing on the map.
Still hovering. G2 want to make it more than value. The pullback. Nisqy doesn't get to go anywhere. He's rooted up before he can flash over the wall. G2 toy with Nisqy yet again. Second death here, and Nako Get some trade back on Broken Blade, but G2 this early game is going what you'd like as a G2 fan. As Carzzy's going to get handshake. He cleansed a bit early, but Lyncas with the all-in. Invulnerable is he. Sends out the spears. Hunsama though with a bailout. Gets bailed out. The curtain call will not find them all. G2, this is their day again.
It's a body block from G2 that stops Vitality from escaping and picking up the kill on the far end of it. G2 just finding so much value again, playing off of SkewMond in the jungle. Sure, Caps wasn't even needed. He's just been getting plates. And this is the G2 that was missing for the last few weeks. And now with their playoffs potentially on the line, they're coming alive in this game. Labrov, look how quickly he waits the handshake, immediately gets it back. So even with the cleanse, Carzzy gets tossed in. And Hansama, Czajek tries desperately to go in, but the fact that he ends up just getting clipped by the edge of the hostile takeover means he can't get away. So Hansama gets the bailout and will live another day.
Such a rough game, Dagda. I mean, again, we said that Vitality need to be quick in this one. They need to really power through early to mid-game and find themselves a lead. It is a huge 3,000 gold lead for G2, and Dragon's up in 10 seconds. They're already there. The setup's hard for Vitality because of this deep vision that we keep talking about. Vitality needs some kind of miracle pick here because trailing behind at this point in the game, it does feel like we could be set for a 25 or 30-minute win again if they're not able to, I guess, kind of relinquish some of the pressure.
But the problem is, it's like, how do you try and move into check these, as Lyncas is about to explain for us, is you just don't have tanky members on Vitality. Like, Nautilus is not a tank at this stage. He is too far behind, doesn't have the resources he needs. And Caps, actually, though, might need help.
Yeah, depth charge. This is an opportunity. Vitality getting something back. The Spirit Rush used, and Nisqy gets the kill. Oh, my God. Czajek committed ulti.
Look, some mid lane tendencies die hard. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
It takes a while to work out of the system.
Thank God my Nautilus has got all the kills, and now he can carry his Broken Blade. And he just walks it back. That's some gold back at least.
But I think this is where it just is very difficult for Vitality because, sure, okay, getting that kill will help Nisqy get towards that locket of the Iron Solari, but he still won't be really tanky enough to face tank into Labrov being able to handshake him, SkewMond's damage, Hansama with the Chains of Corruption as well, and that kind of goes for everyone on Vitality. You don't have someone who can go in.
Oh, my, I mean, just give him the trophy. Jesus, like, that was smooth. And it's nice. You know, when Nako was doing that only the other week, right? Some of his fancy footwork, some of his sidestepping, the individual mechanics of some of the LEC players this split has really been rising to the top. Now, with that, Broken Blade receives a bit more attention from Vitality. He's going to teleport. However, G2 are not here. The only person is Labrov and Hansama, so I hold my words. I guess it's enough. Broken Blade teleporting down, making sure that turret doesn't go down in response to Caps getting top.
But that was the counterplay from Vitality. You can see SkewMond just have it there getting Rift Herald, and now Vitality get nothing. Even on the top side, Caps was still pushing in very deep, so he's completely fine.
G2 players just dodging everything. We checked their PCs. Bit of VAC going on in the past couple of minutes. Vitality still fishing for those hooks. They're backing them. Might lose mid off this Dagda. Oh no, Carzzy saves it.
If it was VAC, maybe Vitality would have a chance in this game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It is not looking likely at the moment. Because I like even the damage profile, like Carzzy going for the static shiv, means he's just not really going to be a big damage threat.
Mosquito build.
Same with Czajek.
Yeah, but there is a lot of damage from Broken Blade. He's got Trinity Forces, SkewMond to back him up. Nisqy comes in, flash dredge line, Broken Blade flashes out of the way. There's a TP coming in as well behind enemy lines. G2 about to be pincered. The new flute comes up from SkewMond. He's ready to dance.
Labrov is on the way though.
Dredge line begins. Step charge up. Broken Blade's dead. There's a reset, but Czajek has to get on out with the disengage. The curtain call after a turret shot hits Lyncas. Labrov there to defend. Herald helping out as well. Shelly just holding the minion wave while mid for G2 might be taken.
Yeah, SkewMond was hoping if he put down the Herald, BB could get into the Herald and keep himself alive, but unfortunately just couldn't get the summon off quick enough. But you can look at the map. Mid push, top push, it's all coming out G2.
With Herald charge as well, that turret's dead. The first charge does more damage now. So down it goes. G2 find bot turret. Look at mid. Observers, if we may please. I want to see what's going on with Hansama. He got some really good damage down. Caps, by the way, pretty much the same with top turret. G2 Masterclass right now is an understatement. A lot of people at home be like, oh, you're glazing G2 again. Guys, shut up.
I mean, they just look good.
They're good. You know, they're playing really, really well, and that's why this was much of the win.
Especially like in a play like that where you go, oh, but Vitality got the kill. But it's like, well, yeah, they got 300 gold or whatever it was, right? But you lose bot tower, you lose a ton of damage on mid tower, you lost a wave in top side, if not a wave and a half because Caps was pushing in. The gold doesn't add up. The map presence doesn't add up, and you're just losing further control over the game. And that's where it's like, sure, Vitality got something, but it's still G2 that in the long run will gain value from a play like that.
I mean, I want to glaze Vitality. I'm so hyped about this team. Even as underdogs coming into the matchup, I thought, yeah, there's a big chance that Vitality can win. G2 have really stepped up to the plate. We've said it over and over these last couple of games. They open up mid, and now looking for Nako between the cracks. But they're just going to get more control. Nako is going to paste it back, and no one nearby, so patience given, and G2 are taking all of this bot side jungle as well. But the pressure around Broker Blade right now is massive.
Yeah, I don't know if G2 can actually get this tower, though. And it is Czajek who's going to get some pressure on the top side, but if you can force this, maybe? Okay.
They say, yeah, we can. Nako World Ender, there's Hansama using his ult as well, so that's depth charge in response. Good knockup, but the hostile takeover flies and only gets the minions enraged. Vitality look for another angle. Is this their opportunity? Is this their chance? How do they find this, Dagda?
They have no TPs. They can't really follow up. Lyncas has to go invulnerable.
He does, but the engage is going to follow up. Caps is looking for his shockwave, only a little bit more with the range. Vitality back off again. They're playing this ever so scattered. G2 are walking separately, but the gap closes still not enough.
That is 2 ultimates down on Hansama and Labrov, though, so G2 need to be a little bit more careful. No World Ender for Nako makes him way more vulnerable, though.
I'm watching Hansama. The poke doesn't connect. This Varus with 1.5 items needs to start layering down. Vitality with a chance to teleport onto a ward. It's a flank. Vitality put their nails in the line and start putting the coffin, but whose is it? Where's the name tag? Lyncas at half HP, 6.5k.
Nako trying to get the flank, though. Can he make the play happen? Broken Blade in a similar position.
World Ender, but set up by Nisqy. There's the charm as well. Follow up. Labrov about to dive, and here he goes. Bail out, almost coming through. Carzzy jumped on Broken Blade, takes him down, but Vitality found a couple of picks. It's a shutdown. It's a charm. It's not bad, but G2 remained on top of the dragon. SkewMond is still pretty damn strong. They get what they came for.
Vitality tried to jump every which direction in this fight to keep themselves in with a chance. You end up getting that lockdown on towards Labrov, hoping for the bailout, but Lyncas with the invulnerability, able to go over the wall, and Labrov just barely doesn't go down in time as you get the kill onto Nisqy. Carzzy flashing away to try and keep himself alive so they can get the kill onto Labrov, but Lyncas and Czajek in this fight using this 2-man duo to pick off Hansama, pick off the backline of G2. That's what you want to see. But it was G2 who were still up to get the dragon and still get the kills they needed in the fight.
That's what they did last week. That's what I remember against BDS. It was Czajek and Lyncas really setting each other up. Lyncas again on Naafiri on something that can carry, even though he's 1,400 gold down. That's where we look at the selling point for Vitality here in this game. Now remember, Aatrox is up. There's only one. It's Thornbound, and as Labrov walks into Nako, Vitality can't keep getting caught out. Broken Blades also run in, and Nako at half HP, zoned out. There's a Shockwave, there's a World Ender. He can only go in, but stunned up regardless. Shockwave bursts him down. Vitality again. Caught out. Lyncas will jump in. An invulnerable bottom, but a flush as well. G2 all 5. Survive. Vitality, it's a counter play, but the counter punch doesn't look as good as G2 once again.
Caps' patience on the Shockwave was so good there. Constantly moving the ball, so every time Nako tried to walk back towards his turret, he would have to walk over the orb. The potential for him to be pulled back away from the turret for safety, and it's when Nisqy actually goes in, Caps pulls the trigger, kills Nako, and it's the picks that are lending in towards Aatrox and further wins for G2.
Spirit Blossom picked up, or rather Spirit Petals. Vitality straying further and further away from this game. But look, I mean, this is Nako getting engaged on by a walking Renata.
Watch the balls. The ball here. Nako could be pulled back. Ball here. Can't go to Terry. Gets pulled back. Ball here. Gets pulled back if he tries to go to Terror.
Yeah.
It's the positioning from Caps and zoning with this ball that constantly keeps Nako from being able to get towards his tower.
Right,
and it's eventually when they actually go for the all-in as Vitality, as Nisqy goes in, he pulls the Shockwave.
Run like the rats we are.
At least the team motivation, the team camaraderie is still high. I mean, it has to be like Vitality. It's such an important game. You got to keep your spirits high because although this series doesn't kick you out of playoffs, this is the series you look back on. That and the road one, right? Because that should have been, you know, a win if Vitality were playing like this. That you could be saying that's what gets us into the top 6 when it is such a, you know, big dog battle to make it into playoffs for this split.
Yeah, as you say, like, the fact that you can guarantee yourself at least a tiebreaker to get in is huge, but Nisqy
again needs to run away. Wind doesn't become lightning this time. SkewMond is deep. Nako goes over the wall. There's the re-engage. But where is the damage? He ulties. Nako flashes out. Czajek, it's a great angle, but Nisqy in the thick of it for now. SkewMond still not dead. Nako doesn't have the damage, nor the reset. Caps is low. He's got a bailout. Czajek playing with it, but still not dead. Caps the shielding. It's enough, but really too much for Vitality. Every single time I'm watching this team, as the hostile takeover takes root and Lyncas runs into SkewMond to boot, it's G2 walking foot and foot through Vitality again.
And there's zero Vitality can do. Czajek needed a reset desperately, but the damage isn't there. There's just every fight, it feels like they're trying to threaten this backline, trying to look for flanks, but they just, again, there's not enough resources to kill people off.
Again, you talked about the Jhin build, Dagda. We didn't see it much anymore because that Mosquito build is doing nothing.
But I want you, as we get into this, to watch how this fight, like where Czajek is positioned and how close he is to actually getting this. Because Nako gets the lock onto SkewMond, but doesn't get the Q2 here to keep SkewMond in towards the Infernal Chains. And then as you get this flank from Broken Blade, watch Czajek get some damage on the Caps, can't get the charm, goes golden, then goes in one more time, barely the charm missing because Labrov ends up tanking it, then he misses with the Orb of Obsession, doesn't kill G2, Caps. Then the shield comes in from Caps. If he gets one, he starts getting the resets to finish off Labrov, finish off the next and carry through, but it's just barely short every time.
Props to Czajek. I mean, that was, again, so close. As you said, all it takes is one, and maybe a turn for Vitality with 7,000 gold. It's getting even worse, and G2 flaring today. Caps is back, and he's broken the system again. Caps, what have you done with the Zonyas? Please press it so we can fix our ears. Labrov, though, face checking. Dredgeline doesn't connect. Neither does the Deadly Flourish. Vitality are trying to play the Death Brush, but even that won't fool G2 at this point.
I think I need eyes fixed after that one.
Oh,
that
no.
was not pretty. Vitality trying desperately to make anything happen, but G2 group up once more. A third dragon on the cards. And you just can't contest.
Continues. I live for
Which
the
is worse,
applause,
this or Whistle Guy?
No, the Whistle Guy, much worse. I do have a whistle here. Might bring it out tomorrow, depends on the games. It's just got to feel the vibe, you know? When we start getting crazy, we get to 50-minute games, then the whistle. Oh, boy. Oh, that's what really rings for us, doesn't it? Okay, Soul Point. Will we get a Soul in this game? G2 are looking to make this an under 1 hour series, which in League of Legends these days is very short. Like, we consistently have 35, 40, 45-minute games because of all the new objectives, because of just how long these games are going without scaling elements. But G2 are going to be the exception to the rule, aren't they? Broken Blade -1, he knows. Okay, he's upset. I would be too, but look, Broken Blade, he deserves the world this game. He's played pretty well in the isolated matchup. He is the father after all. He's got to lead by example, doesn't he? Now, Dagda, while we're chilling, by the way, there's a radar graphic. You know these existed?
Yeah.
Molecule been putting these together, I think.
Yeah. Molecule's been doing a great job. But yeah, I think it does say a lot in kind of on the stats that we brought up earlier on. Like the fact that you may not get the huge CSD advantage for Nako, but he's getting a lot of these solo kills. He's finding the kills that are giving the gold leads in a lot of these positions, or even being able to get the turn plates, where I think that is the success that Vitality have found. A lot of situations kind of playing around through Nako, but BB is a different beast. He's definitely been showing why. For a long time, he was considered the best top laner. Now, it's still debated as to whether he's the best top laner. But this man at times just does not miss. And Nako, unfortunately, has missed a couple of crucial spells when he kind of needed them to hit BB.
Yeah, been quite a series from Nako, I think. Scaling in game 1. Beating out jungle attention a bit as well for game 2. Nisqy not hitting dredge line. You could say the same for him. Lyncas. Invulnerability is a Naafiri ability. SkewMond just gets tagged on the way out, but I mean, SkewMond is taking no damage, ever.
He's fine. He's got Sundered Sky, Black Cleaver, Invulnerability. Like, there's very little that you can do to affect SkewMond at this stage, and Broken Blade consistently shoving in side waves and just continue to take jungle farms, so then Lyncas falls further and further behind, and Naafiri, that is 2 levels down compared to SkewMond, is just not going to have a good time, and I think that's kind of the story for a lot of these kind of crucial matchups, even when you look at Broken Blade, about to tick over to level 16 as well. Like, these are matchups that you needed to win hard as Vitality, and it just hasn't happened.
And again, it is nice to see that Vitality is still willing to play picks like the Naafiri, but we knew that this comp had a time runner. We knew that Vitality really needed to get ahead. I mean, props to Czajek, by the way. Magi's in hand with no stacks. Maybe that's optimism. Saying this game's going to change pretty quickly. I'm all for it. 2.5 minutes till Dragon. Baron's up. Let's see that optimism in action.
The thing is, I think in this position, it is actually correct to go for this because you get so much value off a kill.
You do.
It's the only way you can try and snowball this game back into your favor. It's like you're going for a traditional item just will not happen. So I like it in this sort of spot. It's let's try and get as much value per kill as possible.
And it's not a Rod of Ages build. I mean, I'm happy it's not a Rod of Ages build. Right, it's like not a one-size-fits-all item. So for Vitality, there is damage available, but they've just got to hit on the right targets. Nisqy face-checking here into Caps. All takes the shockwave, and again, Vitality going to lose their base. It's a massive gold deficit. Vitality looking for a charm orb of deception. Tickles, doesn't even hit.
But Vitality don't know where Broken Blade is. He hasn't shown on a wave. Now will show. Actually, doesn't even on mid-wave.
They don't care. Deadly Flourish is there. We need damage. They need damage. Vitality running into SkewMond, but he gets the smite down. Meanwhile, Nako wanted a flank, and he got one, but the whole of G2 are there waiting.
And now that's going to be Baron, but that was what we were talking about. It's impossible.
Got him.
Okay, I don't think he gets it. Oh, dude, charm.
Minions aren't there. It's a mosquito build for a reason. Carzzy doing nothing. At the moment, Labrov getting the dogs unleashed on him. The handshake out. Nisqy caught out. Depth charges there, but there's no follow-up. Nisqy having a rough one. 2, 6, and 2. G2 have his number every time. The sidestepping is egregious from this team.
But it's also, again, the problem that we were talking about for Vitality of who face checks.
Yeah.
Like Nako stepped into a brush he thought he owned and died immediately. Nisqy hasn't been able to find them. Czajek is getting chunked out by Caps. And Labrov is probably tiny enough to just stand in front of Lyncas right now.
He is. He walks into them. He's been doing the same thing. Charm doesn't connect, and G2 are just doing the Baron by themselves. Shockwave's still there to zone, and there you go, Baron, 9.5k gold lead. This is so easy. If they had dinner reservations, they can just go in about 5-10 minutes time.
But they got 30 seconds time until they're going to be eating good, because Infernal Soul going to be open available for them.
For dinner.
And Vitality, they've gone Sichuan style. They are getting spice and flame and fire and everything good for themselves.
They went to hot pot. They asked for mild, and they got spicy. You know? But you don't want to look like a wimp, so you got to sit there and eat it.
Yeah.
But you're sweating.
Tears streaming down your face.
The bib's getting dirty. I mean, God, if you don't know hot pot, you think this is a real different activity. As SkewMond's looking for the chase. Nisqy got caught out. He was pretty deep, looking for an angle around the dragon, but he will not find it. Instead, his death remains. Number 7 on that is Summer. Hits another target. Caps, meanwhile, onto Carzzy. Flushes away from Lyncas. Run, Jhin, run! But his own curtain called again as Lyncas has now flashed away. He's like, wait, I'm the new target. Under turret. Again, the shockwave held until flashed. Caps is playing with this dog, and it's not even his pet.
And Jax is just working his way through the bot side as well. He chased off Czajek, he knocks back Nako, and now just may knock down this turret as well.
Playing with them too, isn't he? Vitality, don't know what hit them here in this series so far. There's about 8-9 kills between them. Broken Blade forces out the fight from Czajek, and back into his base he goes. Double inhibitor at 31 minutes. A slower game this time as Nisqy's just handshake sent back, slapped on the cheeks. Said there, sport, as Broken Blade depth charge up, but Labrov is there, gives him the shield, jumps in, counter strikes, cares not about his mana, flush away from Nako, but the piercing blade, the Baron minions! Hans has your number again, and G2, it gets better. It gets better and better and better for Vitality. It gets worse and worse and worse. Hostile takeover for the zone, and Czajek is trying to find that angle again. Caps is so tempting. He's that last bit of pig's blood you just want to shove in. It looks so juicy, but Czajek running for his life because SkewMond now with the chase up. Flash available. Look at the damage. Czajek is going to be into the dirt immediately, and as SkewMond waste time. G2 have shown that the tragedy of their death was very much overstated.
G2, a competent series, a needed series for both themselves and the fans. You can hear in the stands as Lyncas tries to go for Hansama Redemption. Going to keep him topped up.
Gets close, but look, the next turrets are falling down. Teleporting. G2 want to end it here and now. You thought G2 were done. You thought they were dusted. You thought they were washed. You thought Europe had different kings against different sides, but no. Just when you doubt them, they always find a way to come back in. Our match of the week, nah, this was a wash, and G2 did it cleanly.
Vitality thought they stood a chance. Europe thought that G2 might be crumbling. But here they found their footing and they look scary.
That's the G2 Europeans will remember. Now, who do you vote for? You play the series at LEC on X. And Kia would appreciate some Broken Blade SkewMond or Labrov love there. Well, hot damn, I'm offended that Caps is not in that list. I actually think
it's hard.
it is hard. It's a hard.
Because I think Labrov's roams were fantastic game 1. His handshakes in game 2 were great.
Hansama was mega clean.